Thank you, Madam Chair, for recognizing me. Chairman Bishop is exactly right. This is a transcendent issue. Let me start by another personal story, if I could, please. On September 1st of the year 2000, I received a very hard phone call. The day before, my wife, Celeste, and I had welcomed our third baby daughter into the world. And they were resting comfortably at the hospital, and so the next day I went back to work. Then I received a phone call. She said, "Come back, please, hurry." I said, "What's the matter?" "I don't know, just come back, hurry." You can imagine how anxious that car ride was for me. And when I got there, a routine check of the baby had discovered that she had multiple congenital heart defects. She had what's called complete atrioventricular septal defects. So you can imagine, again, how my wife and I were confused by the barrage of medical information being thrown at us and bewildered as to what the next steps ought to be. My own personal research led me to even read the literature coming out of Switzerland that was looking at how adult stem cells could potentially grow a new aorta for her, because that's primarily what was wrong, that was missing. And what parent wouldn't search the world over for a cure for their child? For us, that particular innovation was premature, and Catherine, since, has had 12 surgeries. She has multiple mechanical devices, but you know what? It's working. She has the possibility now of living a normal life. If she had been born 20 years earlier, she probably would have died by the year of being 30 years old. And it was through this innovation and advancement in science that made that life extension possible for her. So when we search passionately for answers and align them with effective science, reason, and ethics, we have a holistic approach to compassionate care. And there's an example before us already. This very committee, over the last 10 years, has poured billions of dollars into new and appropriate funding into the National Institutes of Health for one reason: to search for cures and effective treatment for people who are suffering. But herein lies the problem. If we cede that type of framework of science and ethics to maverick bioengineers who are detached from larger societal considerations, the risks of harm are real, and we will divert our resources away from real, viable alternatives, potentially. In the case of the doctor who skirted U.S. law to engage in mitochondrial transfer, his own findings are showing that the disease is still present in that child. The child is also supposed to be tracked for their entire life, and the risk of the child may not be known for decades. As Congressman Aderholt mentioned in a related manner, a rogue Chinese scientist who manipulated the DNA of twin girls created a firestorm across the international bioscientific community. And just this week, a study from the University of California at Berkeley found that these twin babies are now likely to die 20% younger than they should and are more susceptible to other diseases. What's less known are the risks that they will pass on to their own children. Just in March, Dr. Francis Collins, who was appointed by President Obama to head the National Institute of Health, had this to say: "Given the lack of compelling medical need, the safety concerns, and the profound societal and philosophical issues, NIH strongly agrees that an international moratorium on reproductive uses of human germ-line gene editing should be put into effect." If we can pause, and if we can align science and reason and ethics and other safeguards, we can innovate in order to authentically alleviate human suffering. Thank you, Madam Chair.